Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Spotlight with Suman, a platform where I interact with the certified image consultants and soft skills trainers of Image Consulting Business Institute. I also ask them questions on what was their past background, what kind of assignments they are undertaking, and what has happened for them to evolve in the industry of image consulting and soft skills training. So we do a lot of interaction and understand a lot about what these professionals are doing currently and what have they done in the past and what is the plan in future. So my guest for today is Ipsita Das. She's from Vadodara. She's a certified image consultant and a soft skills trainer. She's also a stylist. So let's look for Ipsita and start our interaction. Hi
Good
Ipsita.
afternoon, ma'am. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Very well. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm really excited to be here today with you.
Fantastic. So no glitches, nothing, no internet connection
Absolutely,
activities.
absolutely not. Absolutely not, I hope.
So from last two sessions, I've been having a lot of connectivity issues and I was keeping my fingers crossed.
Ma'am, I can't tell you half an hour ago, the electricity went out and I was scared like anything, because technical issues are something that you can't just avoid and we just have to go with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. How have you been?
I have been great, ma'am. I've been in my hometown for the past few months. So I've been working from there and very recently I came back to Baroda. And the
So
first thing
where were
I'm
you?
doing, I'm from Chhattisgarh, ma'am, Bhilai. That's my
Oh,
hometown. So I was
oh,
there for the
okay.
past, yeah, I was there for the past 5 months.
Fantastic. And who's here in Vadodara?
All of my friends basically. I came to Baroda right after my 12th standard to pursue college, and a couple of years later, I found Image and ICBI, and that is how I just found the whole community here. Like Baroda is basically my second home, ma'am, right now.
All right. Great. So let's start. Ipsita, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
So my first question to you is that what were you doing prior to starting with ICBI?
I was fresh in college. I think it was my second year. And that is when I came across, I think the first time I heard about ICBI was with Meher Nosh.
Okay.
So, as everybody knows, Mehnosh is our Baroda fraternity member, and he told me about it, and I was like, yeah, this is something that definite because initially it was even difficult for me to understand as a very fresh student what this whole thing was about, and when I actually learnt about it, this was a whole new world opening up. So, I was a college student when I joined ICBI.
Oh, fantastic. So what really inspired you to become an image consultant and a soft skills trainer?
Ma'am, I've always been very passionate about, since I was a kid, I've been very passionate about clothing, fashion, and the most interesting thing that I've been passionate about is just understanding and figuring out what makes people tick. Just understanding why people do what they do and the psychology of the human mind. So I could never really understand how to get these two things together and a concurrent point jahan pe I could work with this and just make a living out of it. So image was the very first area of work which I felt, this is a place where I can actually incorporate both of these interests of mine.
And where did you hear about image?
Manosh. So actually, I give him credit in all of these because he's actually the first one who came, who I talked about, and I think Manosh and I had a mutual friend, and she introduced me to him, and we were actually meeting for some other work. I was helping him with content writing or something like that back then, and that is when he told me about this whole industry, and I was just fascinated with it. And I think 6 months down the line, then I joined ICBI.
Oh, brilliant. And what kind of assignment, what kind of assignments do you undertake as an image consultant as and a soft skills trainer?
Ma'am, as of now, I'm taking all sorts of assignments. I haven't come to a niche per se because I'm enjoying all sorts of work. So I don't think I want to come to a niche anytime soon. But I've been taking interview skills for students for university. I work a lot with university students and who are quite very similar to my age group, but it's fun for me as well. And I work with fashion houses based in Mumbai, Jaipur, Baroda, and just help them with their, figuring out their clients and what their clients might like, and just helping their premium clients with image management, like figuring out what their body shape is and what their lifestyle goals are and all those things.
So
And
do
I've
you
also,
involve some bit of a personal style also in it? I mean, is there a flavor of personal style into that?
yes, ma'am, absolutely. So the whole process looks like I start with analyzing their body shape, then their lifestyle goals and what their roles are at the moment, and basically what is the event for which they've come here to my client um, to get clothes. And it is more of a one-to-one situation with these fashion houses. So that is how I work with them. And then I just give them tailored advice on which of the outfits would work for them. And I've majorly worked with luxury bridal clients, bridal Indian traditional wear. Quite a lot of that. I've styled shoots, and I generally style photo shoots, and as well as I work with pageant clients at the moment, and it's like quite a
So
different.
how do you manage to get so many clients sitting in Baroda?
Ma'am, as I said, Baroda has become my second home. I think I'd say that a lot more people know me in Baroda rather than my own hometown. It's that kind of a situation right now. So I think network is a very important part of our industry, our whole industry. So I think that is how, and I think the best part about image management is, ma'am, that you just don't have to worry about anything other than doing good work. You do good work, we do good work, and that just gets us more work. So I think that's one of the best parts about the whole industry.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you because I think the biggest essence of success is that if you're good at what you're doing, I mean, there is no looking back.
Yes, ma'am.
You agree with me?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. There's no looking back.
Brilliant. So why do you think image consulting and soft skills training is one of the most lucrative self-employment option for all age groups? Because you know that, when somebody comes and joins ICBI, even when you
Yes.
would have done your
Yes.
classes, you
Yes.
could have seen a variation of different age groups, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
So there are people, starting from the age of 17 to 75 years. I mean, there is
Yes.
like a huge variation of age groups. So why do you think that this industry is one of the most lucrative industry for all age groups?
I think, ma'am, what I noticed in my class at least, and of course in all the other batches, there was everybody involved from the youngest to 17 to 75, as you said, and everybody was looking to be their own boss, very honestly, because probably we have worked with somebody else at a job at a 9 to 5, being answerable to somebody for so long that finally you just want to be answerable to just yourself. So I think that is one of the main reasons that a lot of people come into image management, because it is such a creative field. It gives you so much more freedom to work with, basically, and all different kinds of clients. No 2 days are the same. And like I also mentioned this in the panel that we had back in, I think, July or August, and that apart from the pandemic going on right now, there is another pandemic that has stayed here forever, which is the lack of confidence, ma'am. Confidence is something that does not come naturally or so easy to all of us. So
True.
this is an area where there is so much to be done. And ma'am, I think image management, I believe, is one of the most novel and noble professions that we can work in, because इतना नया है globally भी. It's such an infant but such a dynamic industry, and we help people build up their confidence, people who have struggled with confidence for their entire lives, and we help build them that up. I think there's nothing better than helping people out. I think it's also one of the most thankful jobs and the most lucrative as well, because there is so much potential to help people with it.
And I think it doesn't really require any kind of an age group to, resolve somebody's problem. So if somebody
Absolutely
is going
not,
through
ma'am.
confidence issues, whether
No.
you are 17, whether you are 30, whether you're 45 or even 75 for that matter, as
Yes.
long as you are good with what you do,
Yes.
I mean, you are sorted.
Absolutely. You can just make your client, you can make the people that you're helping believe in themselves. And I think that is one of the best things we can do.
Absolutely. So share with us one of your most interesting client experiences. I'm sure you've dealt with so many of them.
Yes,
by now.
yes.
So, I
So,
mean, which is one of your favorite experiences?
ma'am, one of my favorite experiences has to be my very recent one. So this was the one I was working with a girl, a really young girl, and she was she's looking to enter the beauty pageant industry, and that was a very new kind of a client for me as well. So somewhere along the way, she was looking to get into this. This was her first pageant that she competed in, and I think we worked for 3 months, 3 whole months to work on her image, to work on her confidence, communication, and everything A to Z. And for the first time, I felt like a parent to somebody because जैसे हमारे होते हैं ना हमारे parents हमारे exams के 4 5 days में they are more tense than us. So my client, when she went to Delhi to compete, and I think it was a 5 day affair as far as I remember. And all those 5 days, my heart was in my mouth because I was constantly, my mind was there. What's happening? What's happening? I was constantly taking updates from her, and this was her very first pageant that she competed in, and we managed to get her the West Zone title. So I think
Oh,
that
wow.
was an amazing experience, and I felt proud of her and just seeing her grow through those 3 months. I think that was one of my most amazing, most like really heartwarming experiences in our
So,
work area.
do you think that image consulting has made you a very responsible human being because you are yourself
Absolutely.
so young?
Absolutely. Ma'am, the funniest thing is कि when I came in, when we started our classes, Hina ma'am always used to tell me, Ipsita, you are still like a student, like very freshly when I was, because I was a college student back then. So all through that whole process of learning, like when we were being taught how to train others or how to teach others, we were indirectly being taught ourselves. So that whole journey has been from being a young student to an actually responsible adult. So, and then again taking these clients, and then you just feel the sense of responsibility for them because they have put their trust in you, and you're just answerable to yourself.
So true, so true. So tell me, how have you evolved both personally and professionally by doing this whole program?
Yeah, I mean, when we began our classes, I think I was struggling with mental health personally at that point in time, which is so common to be honest these days because the media is it's explosive right now, and it's very easy to struggle with life right now. And I personally was at that point in time, very honestly. So again, like when we were being taught how to teach, like there were classes like soft skills, we had emotional intelligence, and we had all those transaction analysis classes. So while we were being taught those, I was growing myself. I was understanding because to be able to teach somebody else or train somebody else or help somebody else with it, we ourselves had to get a really good grasp on it. So there was no choice for me but to understand and to raise my own emotional quotient. And I think that is how that kind of pulled me out of that phase. Um, and also image management, it definitely helped me just polish myself a little bit more from a student to a professional. So it was a really great journey from being a student to a professional. That definitely helped me
So
as
what
a
was
whole.
more impactful on your mind? Was it soft skills or was it image?
I'm on my mind, definitely it was soft skills. And because soft skills has so much to do with the human psychology and how we deal with things and conflict management, emotional quotient, leadership, transactional analysis, how we deal with people in our everyday lives. That had definitely a really quite amplified effect on my mind. And image definitely helped me just pull the whole thing together, just pull myself together as an individual.
So that means a perfect combination of both. One was
Absolutely.
working on the inside and one
Yes,
was
yes.
working on the outside.
Yes, ma'am. Outer image, inner image, everything was a whole package.
Fantastic. So, what are the two nuggets that you would like to share with all those people who are watching this live session with both of us today? So, anything that you would like to share, which is something that you feel is really, really precious? Tell us.
Really, really precious. Um, I think like this is an advice that even I could take right now, to be honest. But just taking life easy. That is something because there is so much of chaos around us, and even with the pandemic going on, that there's so much going on in the entire world, not just around us. it's just really easy to get lost, to feel like there's nothing great happening. But when we really look closely, there is so many beautiful things happening around us, that we have, at least we can be grateful for having a roof over our heads. I think that is what the pandemic kind of taught us along the way. We have our families, hopefully we have our families safe with us, we ourselves are safe, we have food to eat, just such little things that we tend to forget on an everyday basis. I think the pandemic has made us realize a lot of things that we should be grateful for.
So how have you been during the pandemic? What all have you done for yourself?
Ma'am, initially when the lockdown started, I was in Baroda at that point in time. And I'm somebody who's very good with solitude. Like I spent 55 days just on my own inside that house. My roommate at that point in time, she had gone to her hometown in Surat. I was on my own, and I was enjoying quite a lot because that was the initial time of the lockdown. So we did not really get a grasp on what was really happening. There was so much chaos, commotion around the world. So that initial period was very, I took a lot of art classes online, and like it was really fun for me at that point in time, of course, because I had a roof over my head. We were safe inside our houses. Then later on, when we, it dawned upon us ki kya chal raha hai, actually how grave the whole situation is. At that point in time, that is where you tend to become more mature in terms of emotionally, mentally, because you're really seeing the suffering around us. So I think that is what happened with me. Even when I went back home abhi 5 months pehle, in my hometown, I feel like I went a different person and I came back a different person, because there was so much time to think. There's so much interaction with everybody, even online. Like these lives that are going on so often, and there is so much exchange of ideas that is just amazing. Amazing how many thoughts and how many ideas we are able to exchange with each other. And I think the online platform, if used well, it's one of the biggest gifts, the biggest inventions that we have had.
Absolutely. But tell me something. Were you like absolutely alone during the lockdown, the entire
Yes, ma'am.
lockdown?
Absolutely. The only time my house help, she used to come once or twice a week, and that was because she used to live in the building. So she used to do the building. So I was very grateful for her, very honestly, because she was ready to do it. And she used to come once a week, probably. That was the only human interaction I had. And I don't know, I'm just morbidly okay with being alone. I don't understand that about myself, but then I just enjoy being alone because there's so much time to think and just be, and
But then
not
you
even
really
do
didn't have
anything.
much of choice also to, have people
Yes,
around.
definitely. And I mean, yeah, it does occur to you at times that uh, I wish I could go out. That I think that has occurred to all of us. But at no point did I really feel कि I have to go out, or I have to absolutely go out. I can't be on my own. So that also, I mean, I think the whole lockdown was, I think for all of us, it was a period where we understood more about ourselves. We discovered so many things. I think all of us, we walked into the lockdown, we walked into the pandemic a different person. I think we'll be walking out of it an entirely different person, and in a good way.
And what have been the learnings during the lockdown? The most important learnings?
The most important learning, ma'am. I think being able to deal with stress more effectively,
Mm-hmm.
personally, because I'm somebody, and I think most of us are, like, we do
पर
tend to
आपको तो
take,
स्ट्रेस होता ही नहीं, आप तो खुश हो लॉकडाउन में.
yeah, in terms of like in terms of overthinking, that is true. I'm happy being on my own, but then like when things are happening around, and when you come to think of it, okay, this is going on, and even in our personal life. So I think उस चीजों से, उन छोटी छोटी चीजों से, the things that we take too seriously, I think dealing with them a little bit better has been one of my personal learnings, and just
And
being
your parents
grateful for
have,
everything.
so were your parents highly stressful about the fact that you were alone during lockdown?
I don't know if they were, they did not make it obvious, but I'm sure they must be. But they knew that I've been on my own for the past 6 years, ma'am. So I think they are pretty confident right now. कि ठीक है, she'll deal with it. Initially, they were कि, okay, what's about the food and everything else. But I have quite a lot of good friends here, so everything was fine for them. So in fact, they were worried about me actually traveling and going back home. They were like, you stay there, you don't come, you're fine there.
Okay, great. So, Ipsita, share with us one of your more than a paycheck moment, where you felt that it was worth becoming an image consultant. So, is there any moment where you felt that it was worth more than a paycheck?
Yes, ma'am, sure. Like when I was back home right now, so that was not more of a moment with a client. It was in my family. So, I mean, one thing that I realized is while we are growing up, we tend to see our parents as parents. Like they're our mom and dad. We do not tend to see them as people who are different from our mom and dad. Like, so I think as we grow up, I mean, personally, is what I've experienced as I've grown up. The last time I went home, right now, I could, for the first time in my life, see my parents as individuals and not just my parents. Like they have a life outside of me as well. So through that lens, I started, I spoke to my parents. We used to have these conversations daily as adult to adult and not a parent to child. And I think with my mom, we used to talk about clothes and makeup, and I taught her a lot about makeup. And she was just curious about it because she used to see me do all these things every day and just deal with my clients. She was like, "Hey, what? Just understand the whole thing better." And she was apprehensive about certain clothing, and she was like, "I like this, but I know if I should wear it," and all those things. So one fine evening, one fine day, I just sat with her and we took the entire day to kind of, make her over. And I just saw a different person. I did not see my mother. I saw a different person at the end of the day, and even my dad was really happy. And that was just such a small moment in those 5 months where I was at home and this thing happened for that whole day. And I think that was more than, I just get emotional every time I talk about my family because I haven't been I haven't been with them for a very long time. And yeah, so I think that was an amazing moment for me. Like that, I really felt okay. This is what I became an image consultant for. Apart from, of course, the clients.
Oh, fantastic. So tell me something, Ipsita. I mean, somebody's asking, in the comments that which is your favorite self-help book. So do you actually read books?
Oh, absolutely, ma'am. A lot of them, and in fact, in the pandemic, it just kind of amplified itself more. The reading habit. Uh, I mean, anybody who's seen me on Instagram or anybody who I talk to, they know that my favorite self-help book is "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff." That is one of the books that I started reading right before the pandemic, and it kind of bled into the pandemic, and it has basically changed my life. I suggest anybody watching this right now, you absolutely go and take a look at the book and just read it if you can. It is a book that tells us, that teaches us about not sweating the small stuff, the little things, जो रोज का छोटी छोटी चीजें होती हैं जिनको लेके हम stress करते हैं. So just not to, just how to deal with those things and a whole different perspective on life. And the best part about this is, I feel कि ma'am, people who even do not, who are not basically into reading, even they can read it because it's just small nuggets of, it's just different little chapters. So you can just pick out any chapter. If you're feeling down, you just pick out any chapter and you read it, and I think you just get a whole different perspective on life and just any problem that you're going through.
Yeah, I think she's written Kirti
Yes,
Chaturvedi.
yes.
So she's written that. I think you've already
Yeah,
suggested this book to her.
I suggest everybody, anybody who asks me, all of my friends, anybody who asks me what book would you suggest, this is the one book that I've been suggesting since the past 1 year. This is the top book that I suggest always because that is the kind of impact it has had on me.
So the book name, they're
Uh,
asking about the book name.
it's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Don't
I can
sweat the
even,
small
the
stuff.
small stuff. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So tell me, Ipsita, how do you stay relevant in today's times? Because this is something which is very, very important, and I'm sure you know that this is a world of
Yes,
competition,
ma'am.
and everybody
Yes.
is, after this cutthroat competition, and everybody's in that rat race, and everybody wants to go up and climb the ladder of success. So, do you also feel that you are a part of this competition? If yes, fair enough. If no, fair enough. But at the same time, how do you stay relevant, whether you are in the competition or you're not in the competition? But what is your mantra of success to stay relevant in the market?
Ma'am, very honestly, like anybody who's known me, they've known that I'm just not somebody who is very competitive. In fact, I go the other way. When there's competition, I just go the other way. Even as a child, I used to play games and insist that there are no rules or like there are no points. Just say hum haar ya jeet sake. So I'm just somebody like that. So I've never really thought about it as a competitive situation. And I believe that the moment that we pull ourselves out of the race, we already win it. Or just at least we're not just drawn or we're just not pulled into it. So, other than that, ma'am, I think social media is one of the biggest and the best inventions we've had very recently. Social media is such an everyday, such a things are changing every second, and we are just updated about anything and everything going on. Anything happens on the other side of the world, social media just gives you that news within seconds, within minutes. So I think one of the best tools to stay updated is to and relevant is to be updated with social media, what's going on in our own industry. There are hashtags that we can follow that tell us, you know, what people of our industry are doing and just what's going on basically, so that we can at least create relevant content, time relevant content, period relevant content, and period relevant even suggestions to our clients or what's going on and what's not. So I think, ma'am, social media is one of the biggest biggest tools that we can have right now. Also, there are really good newsletters and really good sites like Business of Fashion and just relevant to our industry that can be referred to. We can follow pages and things like that. And just talking to people. I think one of the most underrated tools is talking to people, is conversations with people, and not just small talk, but actual real conversations. I think oftentimes we just get so lost in small talk that we forget to talk about real things, about the real deal. So I think having conversations on an everyday basis with not just anybody from our industry, but even people apart from our industry, because there are so many perspectives. One person has these thousand, 10,000s of ideas. So imagine how much we can exchange information and ideas if we just talk to so many other people apart from our industry, different industries.
I absolutely agree with that. And tell me something, what kind of routine do you follow? Is there any kind of a set pattern or a schedule or a routine in your life, or it just goes with the flow with, on everyday basis?
I don't know if I'm being a very good role model here, but I just don't follow routine, ma'am. At this moment I can't. Like, it depends on what client I'm attending to today, or what does my day look like. But it's at least not right now. I don't have a set routine that this is the time I sleep or this is the time I wake up, because I find that I get easily bored with a routine. Although I do understand the importance of a routine, but then not yet, because I don't have many responsibilities on me right now. So all I have to do is attend to my clients and pay my bills at the moment. So that's what I'm doing right now. So yeah, I wake up and I generally schedule my sessions a week before, generally a week or two before, and attend to them as they come. So there are very different, I mean, of course, as freelancers, as entrepreneurs, we understand that we may have 10 different clients in the same day. So that is something that I keep set before at least a week ago, so that there's no confusion and the whole thing is smooth. And I do take a lot of social media clients as well, so I have to just go and visit the stores as well, and just to capture content, and then maybe take a one-on-one individual client session a little later. So it's just like very scattered, but still very set in place, uh, provided that I schedule in advance.
Okay, great. So what is your vision for the next 5 years? If you have placed your vision properly in place,
Yeah.
do you have any plan for the next 5 years?
For the next 5 years, I do. I mean, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is probably try and get more international clients, to reach out to more people globally, because social media has made it so easy for us to do that. So that is what I'm thinking about, and probably engage in more speaking sessions. And I'm already associated with a lot of academic areas, so I'd also want to go ahead there. And that is my vague vision for now.
Okay, great. So you are very active on social media. How do you
Yes,
think,
ma'am.
social media has really helped you, reach another level?
Ma'am, definitely social media is one of the biggest factors why people know what we do and understand the whole subject, and basically understand how what we do is going to help them.
In
So
fact, we
that
have
is,
been telling a lot of our consultants
yes,
to be very active on social media,
social media. Yes,
promote
ma'am.
themselves on social media. However, many of them don't do it. So how do you think, I mean, this is going to be like an effective tool or effective mechanism to promote themselves in the market?
Yeah, ma'am, I think there are two ways that we can be active on social media. One is if this thing comes naturally to us. So if this comes naturally to us, it's easier for us to update our Instagram or Facebook on an everyday basis. But if it is something that does not come naturally to us, then it is better to schedule content. Like we can always schedule our content a month in advance or a week in advance, however, which way it suits the individual, and just make people aware about what we are doing, and more importantly how that is going to help them, how it is going to benefit them. As human beings, we are naturally wired to be drawn to things that benefit us. So to be able to communicate that clearly is very important, and that is very easy with social media. Like, not even we don't even have to post something daily. We can always use the use Instagram stories, and there is so much creativity. There is so many creative ways that we can just play with the stories and just make it really nice looking, and just there are so many call to action buttons and call to action these things that we can use to directly convert and make people aware about what we do, and thus convert them into our clients as well, because it's something at the end of the day that's mutually beneficial.
I completely understand. And I think this comes naturally to you and to many young people, especially because, it's just
This is
there in
a
your
recent
blood.
invention.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think because yeah, it's
Absolutely.
such a recent invention.
And I think you people are the geeks, the millennials, so-called
Yes,
millennials who understand technology so well.
apparently.
And people like
Apparently.
us need to take help from other social media agencies and companies, to
Yes,
help us with
ma'am.
the, social media promotions and things like that.
Ma'am, it is
But anyway,
something,
I mean,
yes, it's definitely a really effective tool. It's a really effective tool, that's for sure.
absolutely. And I think it works very well as long as you know how to
Very well.
use it in the right way.
Yes, absolutely. Using it in the right way is the actual way to just phrase that whole thing, because the media has just exploded over time. I don't know. There is so much information, and not all the information is verified. That is one of the most the other end of social media, because not everything is verified, so we don't know what is true, what is not. So being actually able to understand or make out what is the information that is going to be relevant to us is really important, and just consuming the right kind of information, I think.
Absolutely. So one last question to you, Ipsita.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your message for all the budding image consultants who are about to start their journey as an image consultant? I mean, if there is anything that you would like to share with them.
Ma'am, I think to anybody who's actually aspiring to be an image consultant or venturing out into this industry, just maintaining a really building and maintaining a really strong network of people is very important. Like, I think the very first thing we discussed in this live is ki the best thing that we can do is just work well. We don't have to worry about anything else. So when we are working well, our network speaks for ourselves. Our network speaks for us. We don't have to. It's never a push business. This is a pull business, because there are so many people we can help with what we are doing. And again, it is one of the most noble jobs, and the best thing that we can do is just build a strong network, professional and personal relations with people, and just build the whole network. And that's how we are going to just acquire more work and be able to help more people with what we do.
So is this your mantra for yourself as well? I mean, when you started as an image consultant and a soft skills trainer?
Yeah, ma'am, it was not my mantra, but then I realized that this was actually my mantra. Like, this did help me. When I initially ventured out, I did not realize that the network of people that I have were actually, and the network can also include our social media. It can also include the people that we meet offline, the friends that we have offline. And that was always the case, but then I realized later on that wow, this is what has helped me actually to grow in whatever way possible. This has been one of the biggest supporters and catalyzers in my professional growth, definitely, ma'am.
Absolutely great. So thank you so much, Ipsita. It was wonderful. I mean, we were like really candid and you were like absolutely going with a very smooth flow in your conversation. You are a natural speaker. So
Thank you so
all the
much,
very
ma'am. It
best to
means
you
so
for
much.
your future.
Thank you so much for having me, ma'am. This was absolutely, I was just waiting for this day and it happened. I'm really happy. Thank you so much for having me
2021 had
today.
to start on a positive note, I must say.
Absolutely.
Great. So wish you all the success in your
Thank
future,
you, ma'am.
and I hope that there are many more assignments that come your way.
Yes, ma'am.
Speaking
Thank you
assignments,
so
styling
much.
assignments, and I also hope
Absolutely.
that you sometime soon have a routine for yourself. And
Uh, Definitely.
okay, great. Lovely having you on this platform,
Thank you so
and
much for
thank you
having
so
me,
much
ma'am.
for being a part of Spotlight with Suman. I would also like to say a big thank you to all the viewers who are watching us live. We will come again next week with yet another guest. So until then, this is Suman Agarwal and Ipsita signing off. Thank
Thank
you.
you.